Hey guys. How are y'all? Hang on, I'm looking for something. I was gonna let people join. Is it raining at your house? It's raining again at my house. I mean, I am so over rain. Oh my goodness. It is like, it rained all last week. Like every single night it rained. And then today, this week, okay, today's Tuesday. It's starting to do the same thing this week. And I'm like, I think when you have a farm, you have all the different seasons, right? To me, I mean, winter is hard, but like when it's raining nonstop and you're a chicken mama, you hate life. You do. I was brushing my hair. The reason, okay, if you don't have chickens are born to find reasons to die, okay? Literally. Literally. If it rains for 3 days, they get coccidia, which is hard to overcome. And like when a chicken gets sick, you can't just treat that one chicken. You have to treat the entire flock. And when you're a chicken mama like me, you have, I don't know how many chickens I have. I think the last time I counted, it was like 115 chickens. So it's difficult. So when it rains for a while, they can get respiratory and they can get coccidia and all this. And then you have to treat the entire flock, okay? Well, a bottle of respiratory medicine is like $85. I'm gonna put my hair up. It's like $85. Well, that won't even, and you have to treat them for 5 days. So you can estimate that I'm gonna spend $200 at least when it rains several days. So 2 weeks is a nightmare. So happy 4th to y'all. So I woke up this morning to rain again, and it rained all day yesterday. So I'm like, okay, I guess when the vet opens tomorrow, I better go get some medicine because chickens get sick when the weather's bad. If it gets too hot, they get sick. If it gets too cold, they get sick. If it rains too much, they get sick. It's just like all the time. I wanted to go live this morning because my page has really grown since sweet Miss Brooke Smith interviewed me, and I got to interview her. I have several new subscribers, and I've heard over and over and over that you like Cog Hill Farm and my farm because we're real, and we don't do fake videos trying to pretend and all this stuff. And so I'm like, YouTube's kind of getting to know me. Facebook really knows me because I've been there most of the time, but it's fairly new to YouTube. I've only been seriously posting videos for probably 2 or 3 months. So I know you guys are kind of getting to know me. So I decided I'm just going to be real today and see the real Judy. Okay, it seems silly. I realize it seems silly that a farm girl would be going live doing her hair and makeup. It makes absolutely 0 sense. I get it. I get it. But you guys say over and over that you like me because I'm me. Y'all, this is me, okay? I get messages, oh, Judy, you don't need makeup. I probably don't, but it's me. And I have to do things that make me feel good. And the thing is with my farm is my farm is probably a bit different from other farms that you watch. And the reason is because I'm open to the public. Okay. So like, I can't like, I have to put on my happy face all the time because usually in the mornings, my morning routine is I get up, I have to drink 2 cups of coffee. Let me fix this. I have to fix 2 cups of coffee and drink it before I do anything and have my quiet time. Time for me to do a little bit of meditation, goal setting, like business stuff with Snead's Farmhouse. It's kind of like the only time that I sit down and have time to myself. So I do that. Then I usually start getting ready. And the reason is because buses are pulling in my driveway, families are pulling in my driveway, usually around 9:30, because the first tour is at 10 o'clock. So, y'all, the only time, like, it's hard for me to film because I have people here, because things I have to worry about is like when families come, I have to get permission to film. Like, I can't just film, right? I have to get permission from parents to be able to film or post pictures and stuff like that. It's, there's a liability behind it. So the only time I have a chance to go live, because another reason is my Wi-Fi absolutely sucks a big old fat meemaw sandwich, okay? Like, when I go out to my farm and try to film, it's grainy. And I'm trying to work on that. I had people, I had a Spectrum, which is who my internet's through. I originally had AT&T. It was a nightmare. It's a complete nightmare. So I switched to Spectrum. It is 100% better, but it's not 100% better for YouTube, right? And for me filming. And Spectrum is the best Wi-Fi we have out here. And so I had to come out here to talk about, trying to help me get better Wi-Fi out at my farm. And he said it was too far out. Anyway, so the only time I can go live where my phone is not grainy is when I get ready in the mornings. And I realize this is different from any other farm that you watch. I promise you. No one in their right mind is going to be going live, putting on makeup in the morning. But it's what, y'all, if you want me to be me, that's what I do. I have been going live, putting on makeup probably for at least 2 years, at least. And usually what happens is I always tell people that we go to church when I go live. Because usually in the mornings when I go live, I try to give like advice, and I try to be a soft place to land, and I try to tell you guys things that I've been through in my life in hopes to make a difference in your life. Like, I tell you all the mistakes I've made with my marriage, with my kids, with work, with like animals. I tell you all the mistakes I made in hopes to make a difference with you. And if you're new to my page, this is another thing. I have been a dancer my entire life. It started when I was on stage at 4 and 5 years old, singing and dancing. I can't sing, let me just tell you that. Mom put me in dance lessons, but she so forgot the singing lesson, the vocals, okay? But I have been performing on stage since I was just a little bitty girl. And I love to perform. I love it. It's just who I am. So when I became a farmer, right? I had to be me, and I had to find. I'm like, how? Like, I want to perform. I want to dance. And I had to figure out, like, in life, you have to figure out what you're good at. And you have to figure out your strengths, right? Because sometimes, I'm going to tell you, I'm 52 years old and I just found my purpose in life when I got a farm. For so long, I was like searching, trying to figure out like my purpose in life and what I was good at, and like I couldn't figure it out. I um I consider myself a total train wreck. Train wreck in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s because I I hated my job pretty much. I hated my career. Like I went to school and got a degree and hated it. Like I there were so many things that I didn't like about myself. I was depressed. I was just in the funk all the time. And when I sorry, somebody messaged me. And when I started getting animals, it began to change my life. And I started to find my purpose in life. And I started to connect to what I really felt like I was called to do. And I try to I call it I when I go live, I always like end my videos with okay, I'm gonna pass around the offering plate and we're gonna do communion, because I always talk about I end up taking us to church because I end up preaching. So like I kid about that because I find myself telling you all the mistakes I've made in life. But I also tell you all the great things that I've accomplished in life and again, I do that in hopes to encourage you. Because if you don't know your purpose in life and you think you don't have strengths and you are down on yourself and your family is dysfunctional and all that crap, me too. Me too. I have the badge too. So I bring that to you in hopes to help make a difference in your life. So this is me. This is who I am. And another thing I want to tell you is, my farm is nonprofit. So when I do field trips and tours and stuff like that, all the money that is raised goes back into my farm. And I try to go into schools. I go into schools all the time and I volunteer to do that. I go into the libraries. I do events and stuff like that because I put on this performance. And again, what does a performance have to do with farming? It's just who I am. So I dance with the kids in the beginning because I want them to get out of their comfort zone. Because what happens is when I first started doing field trips, I was like, I want to dance with them. And I was like, kids think it's like, if I say to the kids, if I say, my dream was to live in the middle of New York and dance on Broadway, will y'all help me live my dream today? And they all go, no. I'm not dancing in front of anyone because I can't dance. So I had to change my routine of doing things to get them to get in the moment. My farm teaches soft skills, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I began to play Simon Says with the kids. And I'm like, Simon Says, stand up. And I'm like, you know how your mom says, don't give me that attitude in the morning? I said, Simon Says, cross your arms like this and give me an attitude. And I'm like, Simon Says, freeze. And then I play a song and I'm like, Simon Says, dance. And I tell them, if they'll play Simon Says with me, I'll give them all a free pass to come back to my farm. And y'all, they will rock the house and get in the moment and not care what their neighbor thinks of them dancing. It is the most wonderful thing ever to get them out of their comfort zone. And then when I begin to tell these kids, I say, There's something that your parents and your teachers did not tell you. I am your Aunt Judy. And they're all like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yes. I am your Aunt Judy, and this is your family farm. And the reason I say that is because I don't want them to feel like they're on a field trip. I want them to feel like they're at home. I want them to connect to my animals and see how my animals live. So after we dance, I begin to read my children's book. My children's book is It Takes Two to Make a Farm Go Right. And so and I'm very dramatic when I read the book, because in the beginning, when I first started doing field trips, I would just read the book. And I could not keep their attention. Okay. Like, they would not pay attention to me. Okay. I always kid and I talk about drinking your protein shake in the mornings. Okay. Because usually I have something that is not healthy in this cup. Okay. It's usually either a Coke Zero, but I always say stop and take a drink of your protein shake. So if you're drinking coffee right now in the mornings watching me, take a break and drink some of your protein shake. Protein is good for you, okay? So you can follow me for more health tips if you want. Okay, so anyway, so I began to be frustrated because I couldn't get people to listen to my story. So then I took it to the next level. And y'all I'm a fool when I read the book, okay? Like, I am so dramatic and over the top that kids are like this. And some of them are even laughing at me because I'm so over the top. But I'm able to engage them and get them to listen to me. So what they begin to learn after I read the book is how Leroy, my donkey, lives by himself. There's no other donkey in my farm. There's 2 cows, and there's 3 alpacas, and there's 6 or 7 goats, and there's 3 pigs, and there's 2 sheep. And no, there's 3 cows. I forgot Cinco. So Leroy lives in my farm, and he's the only donkey. So the kids, after I read the book to the kids, I begin to ask them what animals I did not get 2 of. And so there's 3 of them. It's a cat, because it was my son's cat, and it was sneaking and lurking where my baby chicks hatch. And then tortoises don't get lonely, so I only have 1 tortoise, but I don't tell them why I didn't get 2 of Leroy. So then they begin to discover how Leroy lives with people or animals that don't look like him, that don't talk like him, that aren't the same color as him, that weren't raised like him, nor had the same mannerisms as him. So they begin to learn about discrimination. And then they're going to go learn about I'm a rescue. So some of my rescues are disabled. So they begin to learn how not to discriminate against people with disabilities. So what I do is, when we go into the farm, Quacky Jackie is a rescue, and she has 1 leg. She had to have surgery to have her leg amputated, and she has 1 leg. So what I begin to do is I begin to get the kids over there with Quacky Jackie, and I say, hang on just a minute, I need to close her ears. And I take my hands over the duck's ears, and I'm like, okay, she has 1 leg, but she doesn't know it. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, because I don't tell her she has 1 leg, because I don't want her to think she's any different from any other animal on my farm. So she doesn't know she's different. So don't say out loud that she has 1 leg, or, oh my God, because she doesn't know. So then I take my hands away from the duck's ears, and I'm like, watch her stand. Quacky Jackie can stand nice and tall on 1 leg. So they begin to learn that she doesn't know she's any different. So I talk about, not to discriminate against people with disabilities through these ducks. There's another duck, Wallace, that doesn't have part of her top beak. She was ran over by a teenager in a car. It was at Wallace Community College, is where they have a local lake. Wallace was dumped off at the local lake. She's a Pekin duck. She can't fly, so she did not migrate there. Someone said, oh, there's a lake, dump this duck off, okay? So we begin to talk about dumping ducks and how wrong that is, and it's actually against the law. There's a $3,000 fine against dumping a farm animal. But where is Barney Fife to hand out the ticket, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how it's not going to be enforced because there's not a Barney Fife at every single local lake going, don't jump your ducks. Okay, I'm going to write you a ticket. So it's almost like a stupid law to me. So they begin to learn that dumping a duck or dumping an animal is wrong. Dumping baby puppies out because you don't want them is wrong. There are shelters that can help you with that. So they learn that. And then they learn that two things happen with Wallace. Two things. Either the kid, okay, there are speed limit signs. I think it's 15 miles an hour. And then, you know, the cute little duck crossing signs, let you, to pay attention to ducks crossing. Okay, those signs are out there, and there's a 15 miles an hour sign. So two things could have happened. And it was a teenager that ran over Wallace. So what happened is maybe that teenager wasn't obeying the speed limit, or maybe he wasn't aware of the duck crossing signs because he was focused on getting to his tournament there at the Wallace Community College. So that could have happened. But then again, it could have been an accident. It could have been a complete accident. So I began to talk to the kids about what happens when an accident happens and you're scared to tell your parents. Because A, you're scared of getting in trouble, or B, you're scared of getting a spanking or grounded, and you're fearful because it was an accident. So I began to talk to the kids how it's our responsibility to take action when there's an accident that happens, and how it's important to tell the truth. So I began to talk to the kids. So I use these rescues to educate soft skills that kids don't learn necessarily in school. They don't learn how to get in the moment, or they don't learn how to not discriminate or against disabilities or color or speech or whatever. So they begin to learn those things on my farm. So those are some things that happened, but I want to tell you what I did. Take a drink of your protein shake. Good protein. So yesterday I made a big investment. Okay? I'm talking about a big investment. I've talked about this before, but I can't remember if I talked about it on YouTube. I know that I talked about it on that other platform, so I want to bring it to you. When I became nonprofit, I had to give a mission statement. And I thought really hard about what is the purpose? Like, why do I want to be nonprofit? Why am I rescuing? Why do I have these animals? And so forth, right? And I started opening my farm to the public and started going into schools and started going into nursing homes and all these things that I do because I wanted to give back. And that's why I became nonprofit. So my mission statement is to give back what God has blessed me with. And God has blessed me with the most beautiful farm. It is amazing. It's amazing how my animals live on my farm. And I thought when I made that mission statement, I thought that meant like in person. I thought that meant like people that come tour my farm, and people like when I go into schools, like giving back that way. Like that's what I thought God was leading me to. Okay. And so I've been busting my tail, okay, to provide that. I've had over 2,000 people. I've had almost 2,000 people tour my farm since January. So I've been trying to give back that way, because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. Okay? Like, I thought God was leading me that way. But I'm realizing that God is putting me in front of people that may never visit my farm. And I never in a million years thought that he would lead me in that direction. Because I just never thought it. And when I met, let me tell you how I met Jason and Brooke. Okay. I met Jacqueline head first. Okay. And so Jacqueline and I became friends. And it's not a friendship where we were talking all the time. She was kind of helping me with my my logo and making flyers, because Jacqueline is very good at stuff like that. So I met Jacqueline, and so what happened was Jacqueline got one of my goats, and Jacqueline's friends with Jason and Brooke. And Jacqueline told Jason and Brooke that I had a goat that was just born, and they were looking for a buck, and Mo was born, right? So I met Jason and Brooke because they got Mo from me, okay? And honestly, I need to take a protein drink break. Honestly, I thought Jason and Brooke would come get Mo, and I would say hello. That's what I thought. I never dreamt of really becoming good friends with them. I never dreamt of them coming to see my farm 3 times and me going to their farm and all the stuff that's happened. And that's happened. And I feel like that I met them for a reason. I feel like that I'm being called in a different direction now. I feel like, I mean, not that I'm giving up tours and all that stuff, because I'm not. I feel like that another door is being opened by me meeting Brooke and Jason. Because what's happening is now I have a social media, which I already had a big following on Facebook, a pretty good number on Facebook, but I didn't on YouTube. And I feel like the door is opening for me to be able to give back, not only to people that come tour my farm or I go to the school. It's opening a door for me to reach out to people like you in your living room. And like the thought that would ever like happen, it never even crossed my mind that a door would open where I would be sitting in your living room bringing you smiles and laughter and encouragement for you. Like that never. And Brooke and Jason, meeting them and getting to know them, it opened that door of opportunity for me to be able to do that. And I'm so grateful. So I have invested in you. Okay? I spent $4,300 yesterday on a laptop so that I can go live on 2 platforms at the same time. So you guys can join me in the mornings. I don't know if you're going to be getting ready in the morning. A lot of people put on their makeup with me in the mornings. But I'm going to be able to go live on 2 platforms at the same time now. I'm going to be able to provide better content to you, better videos, I'm going to be able to upload faster. Oh, Lord, I'm burping my protein shake. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I just belched in your face, but I need to take one more sip. I just spilt it all over my forehead. So I am investing to bring my farm to you. And for the people that are at home that can never visit my farm, I'm bringing my farm to you right here in your living room. And I am going to do my best to encourage you to be the best version of you that you can be. And I don't know what the best version of you looks like, because for the longest time, I didn't know what the best version of me looked like. It took me 50 years to figure out what the best version of Judy looked like. And I've learned how I am my best is when I have balance. Because when one thing gets out of balance, I become a crazy person. I can't I can't concentrate, like I get all out of whack. And I've learned for myself what creates balance for me is being first spiritually fed. Whatever you and I listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do speak about God. I'm a Christian, okay? But I'm not throwing any of my religion on you. Whoever you serve is you, okay? If you don't believe, whoever you believe, a higher power, I'm not judging you for. I want you. I hope to be a good example to you. But I will never throw. I will tell you my opinion. I will. But that doesn't mean I'm right, okay? So I will never throw my religion on you, but I will talk about who I serve. And I serve God, and I am a Christian, and I'm a believer, okay? So I will talk about my beliefs, but if you don't believe the same as me, I'm glad you're here. And I will never, ever, ever tell you that you're going to hell. I will never, I am not God, and I can't convict anyone. And for my channel, you will always have a soft place to land, no matter what you believe, no matter what you do. I don't care. I love you, and I will never judge you, ever. Okay, with that being said, in order to find balance for myself, it's spiritually, like I have to be spiritually fed. I have to be mentally fed, because believe it or not, I go to counseling once a week and have since 2010. Yes, 2010, because I had a lot of crap. I'm here to tell you right now, I fought depression. I fought an eating disorder. I had severe PTSD from crap that I dealt with when I was young. I had a lot to fix, and I still have a lot to fix. So spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And right now, like physically, I'm a little out of balance because I haven't been taking care of myself eating right. So I'm a little off balance right now, and I am trying really hard to get myself back in balance, because proper sleep, water intake, when you go back to, remember when you were in first grade and you learn about the food groups, the food groups, proper fat, proper vegetables and fruits and meats and protein, all that. That food group is still present to this day, okay? That has never changed since I was in first grade, okay? So like learning how to eat right, how to take in water, H2O, how to get proper sleep, all those things are important for balance, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, it will, yes, I just saw inhale, exhale, yes. This seems silly, but like when I go to bed, I find myself thinking about everything that I need to do, or everything I should have done, or I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have said that, I should have said this, I should have said that. My mind goes spinning. And what I lay in my bed and do is exactly what you said. I take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and I try to relax my forehead. I try to get my face to just totally relax and think about every single wrinkle falling out of my face as I lay there. And it helps me relax and get in the moment and be able, and then I'll start counting sheep. No, I don't count sheep. Um, but those things are so vital to me to keep balance, because I'm telling you right now, if one thing is out of balance, I feel myself, I lose my purpose in life. I feel like my concentration is not good. I feel like I'm all over the place. I get depressed. One little thing that gets off balance just sends me into outer space. And it takes emotional maturity to figure out what is out of balance. Because sometimes you're like, I don't know what the flip is wrong with me, but I am a train wreck today. And I have to stop myself, and I have to go, what the heck is wrong with me? I'm in a bad mood. I'm snapping people's head off. I'm just like, I can feel it. And I have to stop myself and go, what has happened? And then I can go, and this is the honest truth. I can go, okay, Judy, the last video that you posted, somebody put this daggum negative comment that made you a total train wreck, and you're holding on to that negative comment. And girlfriend, it's been a week since that person commented, and that person hadn't thought another thing about it, and you're sitting here hanging on to it, losing sleep, like you're a train wreck. See, that when someone says something to you that causes you to get totally out of balance, it is your responsibility to pull yourself in and go, seriously, because people say negative comments to you. You might not have a YouTube channel, but you might be sitting in church, or you might be at your family gathering on 4th of July, and someone says, boy, you put on some weight. Or they might say, why'd you cut your hair? What were you thinking when you put on that outfit, Mom? Or whatever, like somebody can say that to you, and then the next thing you know, you're in total left field, and you think, oh my gosh, now I'm depressed because you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. That is getting yourself out of balance, and you have to know yourself so well that you're able to pull yourself back to balance, because you're going to be a total train wreck, and you're going to be depressed, and you're going to, do y'all know what I'm talking? Are we going to church? See, let me tell y'all something else. So I need to introduce you to this, okay? This is my preaching stick, okay? So in the mornings, because I'm supposed to get my computer July 12th through the 17th. So you guys are going to start seeing this, okay? Because you haven't experienced your Aunt Judy yet. I want you to know that you have an Aunt Judy that loves you and is going to bring you some good content, okay? So I'm over here, I'm curling my hair, right? And then the next thing you know, I start preaching, and we start going to church, and I get my preaching stick out, and I'm like, let me just tell you, when that son of a gun is sitting around your lunch table today and tells you something negative, I'm telling you, look, let it go in one ear and out the other. Because I'm going to tell you, if you let that son of a gun train wreck you, okay, I'm getting my preaching stick out, and I'm going to spank you, and I'm going to tell you to not let that ruin your day. You know who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're made of. You know that you're a good person. So I needed to introduce you to that. This is my preaching stick. When my preaching stick comes out, we going to church, okay? We going to do communion. We going to pass around the offering plate. We going straight to church. So just know that. That's something else I needed to introduce you to. Anyway, I want you guys to get to know me, and I realize I have 15,000 subscribers, right? So that's not that's not huge, okay? And as my page grows, I'm going to do I read every single comment, okay? I read every single, I take time out of my, if you're going to take the time, if you're going to take the time to watch me, and you're going to care enough to make a comment that time to make a comment, then your Aunt Judy is going to read the messages. Just know that. Okay. He's probably, okay, let's talk about Garth real quick. My husband's name is Shane. His name is Shane. Everyone says he looks like Garth Brooks. So I started calling him Garth because people in high school used to call him Baby Garth. Okay. So when you see sometimes I say Shane and sometimes I say Garth, it's because when he's in trouble, I call him Shane. And when I think he's a cute little, oh my gosh, isn't he cute? He's Garth. Okay, so that's the deal. All right. I am being summoned. I don't know what he's calling me for, but I need to go. I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit more because I have so many new subscribers, and I needed to introduce you so when I start going live on both platforms, you're not like, what the heck? What is this I'm following Snead's Farmhouse Sanctuary, and this girl is trying to sell me makeup on her lives. Okay, I'm just here to tell you right now, I don't sell makeup. No one gives me makeup free to use to sell to you. It's just who I am. I will tell you, like, people will go, Judy, what is your foundation? It's Clinique, and I'm not so popular that Clinique is paying me to bring Clinique makeup to you. No, do not follow me for makeup tips. I don't know what the crap I'm doing. If you say, why is she caking? Look, don't follow me for makeup tips, okay? Don't follow me for hair tips. I don't know. I just am Judy, and I want to bring myself to you, and that's what I do because that's the only time I have time to go live. Some sweet subscriber sent me a message yesterday, and she's sending me a Wi-Fi extender to try, and she really believes that it'll work. How sweet is that? When she sent me that message, I had tears rolling down my face because I couldn't believe that someone was so nice that would want to send me something to help me. Like, it was so sweet. So she's supposed to be sending me a Wi-Fi extender to see if it works. So we'll see. But the only time I can go live because I have sucky Wi-Fi is when I'm in the morning. So again, don't follow me for when I'm talking about my protein shake. Do not follow me for health tips. Don't follow me for makeup tips. Don't follow me for hair tips. Okay? Follow me because you want a soft place to land and you're not going to be judged. I hope that you have a fabulous 4th of July. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy your day. And I need to tell you about the dancing. I never finished it. So I said in one of my posts, I said I had almost 20,000 backup dancers, and I had 15,000 backup subscribers on YouTube. Okay? You guys, you know how y'all are called the Cog Squad? You know, y'all are my backup dancers, you know, because I can't I can't get my jam on and make a difference in people's lives without you encouraging me to be my very best every single day. Where I encourage you, I need you to encourage me. So you guys are my backup dancers, and you're going to help me make difference in people's lives. So thank you for being a backup dancer with Snead's Farmhouse Sanctuary. I'll see you next